Here this hour. 4 billion rand is needed to resolve Hammanskraal's water crisis. President Cyril Ramaphosa visited the area earlier today to get a grasp of just how bad the situation is. To date, 29 people have died in that township that's just north of Pretoria as a result of the cholera outbreak in that area. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos is on the ground for us, tracking these developments. Let's go live to her now just to get the latest. Good afternoon, Heidi. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time this hour. Well, the president has been there, spoken, admitting and asking for forgiveness, admitting that government has failed the people of Hammanskraal.
Yes, I think it was important for the president to come and establish what exactly is going on. He first started off at the Rooiwal water waste plant, where he did a walkabout together with the Minister of Water and Sanitation, the Health Minister, the Premier, as well as the Mayor of the city of Tshwane and a number of other officials to really get to the bottom of the root problem. Many would say it's a little too late. We do know that the death toll now is at 31, of course 29 here in the province of Gauteng. Really still making it unacceptable that people in 2023 are dying because of cholera. It's still not certain yet, though, Bradan, where the cholera is coming from, because according to the city and even the president himself, the water that's been tested does not indicate that there is cholera. Before we listen to the president admitting to the failures of government, I want to show you that the community is getting the much needed support. As much as it's welcomed, it's obviously still not an ideal situation. Organization Gift of the Givers has come out onto the ground. They've been doing this for some time, providing water, cleaning detergents, rehydrates, everything that is needed to basically fight off any kind of cholera outbreak. We do know that Hammanskraal has been the epicenter. Members of the community have come out to, of course, receive the much needed water that they need, because residents themselves have indicated that the tankers that are being used to transport the water around the area of Hammanskraal, they feel as though that water itself has been contaminated. But let's listen to what President Cyril Ramaphosa said to the issue of failing the people of Hammanskraal because of the water crisis.
It's not good quality water. And this has been your problem for years and years. Ke batlo go kopa tshwarelo go lona kaofela on our collective behalf. Gore constitution ya rona e lefa tokelo. Our people have the right to water, to clean running water. And in this case, we will admit that we have failed you. We have failed the people of Hammanskraal. We have failed you.
Yeah, it's one thing admitting that you have failed the people of Hammanskraal as government, but it's another thing to sort the problem out. Did the president speak about maintenance? And what did he say?
Yes, he did speak about maintenance, and also admitting to the fact that he was quite alarmed to find that there was no actual engineer at the Rooiwal water waste plant, indicating that that urgently needs to be addressed, Bradan. He did speak about the maintenance issues. He even compared it to the fact that, for example, our power stations have not been maintained for some years, and that's why we are being subjected to constant rolling blackouts. He says this is an even bigger crisis, because if water waste plants are not being maintained, that creates a different dynamic and a completely different problem. He's spoken about the fact that one's constitutional right and basic human right to access to clean and safe drinking water has been completely violated, and this is why he decided to go to the water waste plant to address this. You mentioned earlier that it's going to cost about 4 billion rand to fix this. Of course, community members saying, but how much more money is going to be thrown into this to actually address the problem and fix the problem? The president's also speaking about how the current water waste plant is at 68% completion, and that's why it's going to take about 3 years in order for the Rooiwal water waste plant to be used to full capacity and efficiently, and be able to provide clean and safe drinking water. Let's listen to the president once again.
There must be a higher culture of maintenance. culture of maintenance throughout our country is very low. We build installations, some of them the most beautiful, and when we finish building those installations, we forget about them and we forget about maintaining them. We just want to use them. And yet the right approach and culture is that once you build a facility or an installation, you must from day one start maintaining it so that it functions well.
As we know, Heidi, 29 people in Hammanskraal have died due to the cholera outbreak. 2 others died in other parts of the country, one in the Free State and one in Mpumalanga. But the epicenter of the outbreak and the most number of deaths has been in Hammanskraal. Was there anything said by the president around the lives that have been lost, and what will be the next steps?
Yes, sorry, I'm just quickly browsing at my phone, Bradan, because I just want to get the exact numbers right. So we have been told that 29 people have died in Gauteng. Out of the 29, 1 has been in Ekurhuleni, 28 in Hammanskraal, 1 in the Free State and 1 in Mpumalanga. Therefore, the death toll is at 31. There have been over 160 positive confirmed lab cases of cholera. 91% of cases in Gauteng, there have been 91 cases of cholera in Gauteng. Of that 91%, 90% of those cholera cases are in Hammanskraal, which just shows you that this is, of course, the epicenter of the cholera outbreak. The president very quickly and very sternly indicating that this is not a national crisis, and of course it's been narrowed down to Hammanskraal being the epicenter. But he was, of course, asked the question about compensation and further support for families that have lost their loved ones. We do know among those that have lost their lives here in Hammanskraal are also children. The issue around what the immediate interventions are going to be. He was not received well when he said the community of Hammanskraal should boil their water before they consume it, because the community is saying, well, with what electricity? And this is the reality of many, and that's why you have Gift of the Givers Foundation really coming through and providing this necessary support. But let's listen to what the president had to say in terms of the support that's going to be provided to the families.
Even though investigations are still being made to investigate and to find out exactly what led to the death of people and where the source of this cholera was. The fact that you don't have clean running water is enough for us to be extremely concerned about the exercise of your rights as the people of our country. Yes, the investigations are still ongoing. Minister of Health, Dr. Joe Pahla, was briefing me earlier today and even before that yes, they are still trying to find the real source. The municipality and the Ministry of Water and Sanitation have been at work to investigate, to exactly find out. And we expect that those investigations will continue until
Okay, there's the president there explaining, Heidi, as we conclude, about his thinking about the victims of the cholera outbreak. And just to recap for accuracy, we have a total of 31 people who've died of cholera since the major outbreak. The epicenter is Hammanskraal. In Hammanskraal, 28 people have died. 1 person has died in Ekurhuleni. That makes 29 for the Gauteng province. And in other areas, only 1 person died in the Free State and 1 in Mpumalanga.
Yes, that is correct. So the total death toll is 31, 28 in the Hammanskraal area, 1 person in Ekurhuleni, 1 in the Free State, 1 in Mpumalanga, as I mentioned. So it is a total of 31. Yes, Brother.
Okay, and I promise this is the last question. I see there's a presence of soldiers, a presence of security and police there on the ground. Was it because of the presidential visit, or from what you've noticed, they've been around in the area to make sure that there's security and stability?
Yes, so let me just actually take a look. These people that you are seeing, these are the wardens, the newly appointed wardens here in the province of Gauteng under this program established by the Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi. There is, of course, high police presence because of the visit of the various ministers, including President Cyril Ramaphosa. So the wardens are here to provide the necessary support needed. They're also helping hand out water and other supplies to community members.
Okay, Heidi, thank you very much for that update on the ground there in Hammanskraal, where the President and other senior government officials were visiting the area following the deaths of 28 people in that part of South Africa due to cholera outbreak. The total number of the deaths in the country stands at 31 as we speak. 1 other death happened here in Gauteng, but in Ekurhuleni Metro, and 2 other deaths happened in Mpumalanga and the Free State.